Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Last week I reviewed Queen's Necklace, and although it's from Bruno Cathala and Bruno Faidutti, I wanted to love it, but in the end it just felt way too random, way too unbalanced, and too complex for a non-gamer, and too random and crazy for a gamer, so it didn't sit well with me. Shakespeare. I think this is a good solid Euro game that a lot of Euro players are going to like. Personally though, I love the theme, I love the artwork, but I felt like it was a little too unforgiving because there's a very small scores in the 20s that gets done, and I felt like you were forced to do things evenly at some point to make sure you don't get whacked with bad points. So in the end, there were things about it I didn't like, but I could see a lot of people really liking this. Now, Snowtails is a reprint from Renegade Games, originally from Fragor Games. This is a racing game where you're playing cards, huge on my depth to complexity ratio, easy rules, not complex, but a good amount of depth there. Really fun racing game, that one's great. Between Two Cities from Stonemaier Games. Wow, this is a 3 to 7 player quick city tile drafting game where you're working cooperatively with people next to you but against everyone else. Think of like Seven Wonders playing really fast but without all that complexity, but you're city building and you're working with people. Awesome, awesome filler game. Deception, the Murder in Hong Kong. Wow, this is probably one of my favorite social deduction games now. It's got a deduction element, it's got a social deduction element. You're trying to solve a crime, figure out who the murderer is, and it's very similar. If Resistance Avalon and Mysterium had a baby, this game would be it. Go check that one out. And Time Stories. Whoa, this one took me by surprise. I didn't think this was my style. I didn't think I was gonna like it. I was absolutely blown away by the story here, the artwork, the way it worked, and I've never felt so just engulfed into a story of a game before. Time Stories. And I also put out the top 5 games to play on National Bosses Day. These are games that are easily accessible to non-gamers. They're ones that you could play and bring into the office and play in under an hour. And they're just some fun things that you would want to do to a boss or kind of be like the boss. Some interesting things that have twists on that as well. And that was this last week.